Today's show is sponsored by City Theater. If you are a birthday person and you love making that whole week, maybe month, maybe season all about celebrating your big day, then the play Birthday Candles might be perfect for you. City Theater is presenting Birthday Candles by Noah Heidel and directed by Mark Masterson, and you can catch the show on the South Side from March 8th through the 30th. Join Ernestine as she takes us through a century of birthdays. The play is inquisitive, it's hilarious, it's heartwarming, and it asks big questions about our place in the universe and what we might do for the perfect gift. You can find out more and buy your tickets at citytheatercompany.org. CityCast Pittsburgh is supported by Fulton Commons. If you're looking for a gorgeous co-working space with lots of light and some truly wonderfully funky decor, check out Fulton Commons on the north side. The historic but very well renovated old school building is deep in the neighborhood by a park, tucked away but still super close to anywhere you want to be. They've got offices and common spaces. It's perfect for organizations or individuals, and they even have a shared food production kitchen on site. So there's lots of food-related events for their members. If this sounds like your dream co-working space, visit fultonpgh.org to request a tour. Today on CityCast Pittsburgh. This week, we marked Fat Tuesday and Ash Wednesday, which means the fish fry season has officially begun in Pittsburgh. If you're still figuring out your plans, look no further. Today, we are revisiting a conversation with Holland Barmer, the creator of the Pittsburgh Lenten Fish Fry Map, to talk about how she and others built this incredible resource, the proper etiquette for navigating a fish fry if they're new to you, and of course, how to find your next favorite fry. It's Thursday, March 6th. I'm Megan Harris, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about. I'm with the creator of the Pittsburgh Lenten Fish Fry Map, Holland Barmer. Welcome to CityCast Pittsburgh.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So Holland, I don't know about you, but I am very picky about my fried fish. I want to know what you like about Pittsburgh fish fries so much that you would make this whole map dedicated to them.
Well, I of course like the fish, but I really like the whole package of the Pittsburgh fish fry. There are a lot of things that go into a great fish fry. I mean, the fish is one thing, but you've got the sides, you've got the ambiance, you've got the people who work at the fish fries, and it all kind of comes together to make sort of the perfect thing for me, something that I really love and have for years.
Yeah. How and when did this map get started? Because you've been doing it for a long time now.
Right. So the first one was in 2012, a lowly Google map. And then by 2015 or 2016, we were up and running with the much better and more user-friendly map that you see today, thanks to the technologists Christian Goss and Mark Howell, who really make the map run.
Well, if it started as a Google map, who was it for? Like, did you do this just for yourself, or was there a group of friends that got together? How did it get going?
It started out as just me, and because I have a terrible sense of direction, but I was really, really curious about all of these fish fries, and I thought if I can usually get anywhere if I have a map, but I have a really bad sense of direction if you just sort of set me off looking for something. So yeah, it was just me at first with the list of diocese fish fries that came out in the Pittsburgh Catholic.
Yeah, that's incredible. Like, I have so many friends that make Excel spreadsheets for themselves, like with restaurants and other things, but they usually don't turn them into interactive maps and share them with the public. Like, that's the next step. That's a big extra level.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think I tweeted it, and it kind of gained some steam, and I was like, oh yeah, other people can use this. And, then it became the great thing that it is today.
Yeah, people were clearly craving this information.
Indeed.
Yeah, and if folks have never seen it, first of all, you should Google it immediately. We'll have a link in our show notes, but it's a work of art. You've got little houses for secular spots, crosses for churches, and then there are just so many. And the dots go across a huge swath of Pennsylvania, from Wheeling to State College, just north of Morgantown, up to Meadville. There's one in Gettysburg. How did you decide like where to draw the parameters? Because the more you have, the more you have to fact check.
Right, right. So a lot of times we get people writing into the Maps Facebook page asking to be added. I believe that's how we added the Gettysburg one. But sometimes our volunteers have connections to other areas, like central Pennsylvania, for example. Like my in-laws live there, and we have another volunteer who maps quite a few fish fries in like the Huntingdon County area. So it really kind of depends on who requests and who volunteers, and we don't like to put too many parameters on it, but yeah, they're still pretty much Pittsburgh fish fries.
How many volunteers are on this whole team?
So this year we had 18 people mapping from the beginning of the year. Yeah.
And what's involved in mapping? Is it like, they actually coding, or are they the ones like calling the churches and making sure they got the details right?
There is no coding for volunteers, unless there's somebody out there who is a coder and would like to volunteer your services. The volunteer event is all sort of data entry. And sort of what's involved in making the map is that we have all of the data from last year. We have the location, we have the name of the venue, we have maybe menu items, phone numbers, etc. And then the volunteers log in and they check that information against, some of the listings that are out, whether it's maybe the Facebook page of the church or the other organization that they're looking for. And then they essentially kind of flip a switch and say, this is verified, put it on the map and kind of light it up.
Yeah. I mean, are you looking for more help?
Sure. Yeah.
Is it too late this season? Do they need to get in touch next year?
I would say get in touch next year to volunteer. Yeah, we've got a lot of the work done, and we have a good set of volunteers doing work. But yeah, if anybody is interested in volunteering, you can either keep an eye on the Pittsburgh Code for Good meetup page, or just contact the fish fry map through the Facebook page, and that message will get to us that way.
And I hear you have a little bit of a bonus this year too. There are fish fry playlists. Is it multiple playlists? Just one? Like what's the mood of the list?
The list is a classic, and I cannot take credit for it. That is Melinda Angelis's baby, and she curated it. But there's a lot of classics on there.
Is it like yacht rock, like Jimmy Buffett? Are we talking like airy Pisces season music?
I think some of that, but also it is pretty eclectic and kind of controversial, because you'll also find Baby Shark. And that is either a love it or hate it. Some of the people at our in-person volunteer event a couple of years ago really could not deal with Baby Shark.
Today's show is supported by the Frick Pittsburgh Museum and Gardens and their newest exhibition, Kara Walker, Harper's Pictorial History of the Civil War Annotated. The CityCast crew just checked it out. It's so vivid. There are 15 panels from artist Kara Walker. If you're not familiar with her work, in this series, she places black silhouettes on top of old Harper's Weekly engravings. It's easy to forget now, but back in the day, illustrations like these were the main way a lot of people interpreted what it meant to be at war. There is a lot of patriotism, and not a lot of the many free and enslaved Black men and women who lived and fought and died during this war too. Also, the prints are paired with other Harper's Weekly illustrations, so you truly get a sense of how these stories were being told at the time. And because it's the Frick, a small bonus, they actually had the original bound copies of these Harper's Weekly illustrations. Like they were just in the house, handy, ready to go, and perfect for a show like Kara Walker's. The whole experience is just such a striking and visual reminder of what you often don't see in depictions depictions of things like the Civil War. We highly recommend it. Get your tickets to Kara Walker, Harper's Pictorial History of the Civil War Annotated, now through May 25th. And learn more at thefrickpittsburgh.org. If you're ready for a great night out, the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra is shaking things up with a different way to do classical. Their Disrupt concerts are short, they are relaxed, they are often themed, and they have legitimately fun activities to do too. The PSO has 2 remaining Disrupt shows coming up this spring. First, there's Hope and Resistance featuring Prokofiev's Fifth Symphony. That's March 8th. It is a masterpiece and a glimpse into history. Then Love Struck on April 10th, featuring the greatest love story ever told, Ravel's Daphnis and Chloe. You'll get closer to the music as the PSO's onstage host guides you through every thrilling movement of these iconic works. Plus, did I mention that they are short? The performances are only 60 minutes long. But Disrupt is more than a concert, it's a vibe. It's an experience. Grab a craft cocktail and just enjoy the live music in a very chill, come-as-you-are atmosphere. No dress code, no rules, just a perfect evening in Pittsburgh. Shake up your night at pittsburghsymphony.org/disrupt. Tickets start at just $25. CityCast Pittsburgh is brought to you today by Kesem. An estimated 5 million children are coping right now with a parent's cancer diagnosis. You know, being a kid is hard enough without extra anxiety or feelings of isolation or hopelessness that can come from really heavy stuff and just trying to process their caregiver's medical treatment. That's why Kesem is trying to support these kids with fun, creative, free programs and a summer camp that help uplift them no matter what comes next. And Kesem needs you to help them make the magic. Make the Magic is Kesem's annual fundraising gala where they bring local folks together for an evening of storytelling and performance, and most importantly, the chance to make a real difference for Pittsburgh kids. There are 2 opportunities for Make the Magic coming up. Kesem at the University of Pittsburgh is celebrating March 21st at Pitt's University Club, and Kesem at Carnegie Mellon University is throwing their gala the very next day, March 22nd, at the Convention Center downtown. Pick your team, Pitt or CMU, or hey, go to both. Get your tickets now at donate.kesem.org/PittsburghMTM25 or donate.kesem.org/CMUMTM25. Again, that's Kesem, Kesem, and be part of something truly magical. Make the magic, change a life.
Well, let's get into your recommendations. How do you go about choosing personally?
I went on Ash Wednesday to my neighborhood favorite Swiss Vale Fire Department. All the hype you hear about them is true. Their fish sandwich is incredible.
What do you love about
sides are
it?
good.
Be specific.
Oh, okay. All right. So I guess it's the trifecta of the food, the atmosphere, and the people. So for Swiss Vale in particular, you get to eat in the garage bay with the fire trucks.
Okay. Yeah. That ticks a box for a lot of grown adults.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the fish sandwich is like, it's one of the greatest.
Is it is it flaky? Is it white fish? Is it beer batter? Is it cornmeal?
So it is definitely not cornmeal, and I think it is beer batter. And I have to confess, I'm also not a connoisseur. You will not find me eating only fine things in life. I have a wide appreciation for a lot of different foods. So yeah, I'm no like fancy food connoisseur, but yeah, it's this is a good sandwich.
No, fish fries were made for the humble palate. I'm not giving anyone a hard time about that.
Absolutely.
Are there favorites that you have that you always look for? Like there's the fish, of course, but then Pittsburgh has so many other menu items that can pop up from place to place.
Oh, yeah. Pierogies. That's like, I don't know. Sometimes the pierogies can eclipse the fish sandwich.
Really?
And I keep saying fish sandwich, and I am a fish sandwich person. I always get the sandwich.
I see. I'm a fish without the bun person, but I respect it. Sometimes you need the extra carb to soak up the tartar sauce. Like there's good ways to do it.
And so you're a tartar sauce person?
I am a tartar sauce. I also love ketchup. Like I love a Heinz moment, but yeah, tartar sauce if available.
All right. Good to know.
What other menu items are you big fans of? Or the team? You can branch out if you've heard good recommendations from folks you work with.
Oh, yeah. So I think I feel like it's pretty universal that people love the good pierogies and halushki sides at a Pittsburgh fish fry. I feel like those sort of Eastern European roots really run deep and make a lot of really good side dishes. Another win is the dessert table. Bonus if it's made by either parishioners or volunteers at the organization. I once saw it was a work of art. It was a Twinkie that had pretzels for wheels and was being ridden by a bunny, and it was all edible. And I think that they were on sale for $1 or something. Someone had taken great care to make these and package them, and they were so cute.
I feel like they could have charged more for that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was a hit.
If you're listening to this and you think, well, there are specific things I want to look for, Holland's map really does literally the Lord's work here. You have filters on this thing, so you can filter out for homemade pierogi. Are you verifying that they are indeed homemade when you do this too?
Ooh, so this always comes up at our volunteer event. So we try to be really specific, and the criteria for homemade pierogies is that it has to say in the listing homemade pierogies, or if the volunteer who's mapping it has actually been to that location and had the pierogies and verified it themselves, then we check the box for homemade pierogies. So if people who make their fish fry listings are out there listening, always say homemade pierogies if your pierogies are indeed made by hand by people.
It really requires a level of specificity. And then, of course, you have other filters, too, whether they have drive-through, if they serve alcohol, if they're open either for lunch or Good Friday, if they have takeout, if they're ADA accessible. It's just such a wonderful public service to put this in one place for folks and then help them also be able to identify quickly which one is not only close to them, but could meet their needs.
Yeah, it really is. And those are things that people have asked us through the years, whether through Facebook messages or comments and things like that. And so we've tried to be responsive to the needs out there.
Are there any fish fries that you've maybe never been to, but that you really want to try maybe this year, maybe next year? They're on your list.
Yes, I have. The one that I have been thinking about for years is, and I haven't been there yet, and I hope to get there this year, is a church called St. Mary's in Herman. If you look for St. Mary's famous fish fries, Herman, PA, you'll find it. It's up north. And the reason that I want to go to that fish fry is that their advertisement says the 68th annual fish fry. And I have not found another fish fry that has been operating that long. Maybe I could be wrong. There is no scientific basis.
They're not advertising that they've operated that long.
Correct. Yeah. But it seems like a pretty long established fish fry, and I would like to see what they've got. So yeah, St. Mary's.
I imagine you'd really have to have your stuff dialed in. What about the flip side? Any new spots or maybe folks returning after some time away?
Yeah, so I think I've got a new one and a returning fish fry to go to. So the new one is the Bitter Ends pop-up, and I will caution that I see that it's a limited quantity. It's a pop-up at Linea Verde Green Market in Bloomfield, and I am really excited, might be able to get a sandwich. I don't know, limited quantity, so fingers crossed. So that one is a new one to me. And then the other one that's coming back, I was really excited to see I believe it's Holy Trinity Church at the American Serbian Club. So it's a benefit for the church, but it is located at the Serbian Club on the south side. And this one is lunch only, but it's better than not happening. And the Serbian Club is a great venue. Always enjoyed my time there. And they have a good setup with both the line to get the food and then the desserts. And in years past, they have had a bar because it's the Serbian Club. So
that's true.
Looking forward to seeing them again.
Pittsburgh loves its membership clubs for that reason. Before we let you go, are there any recommendations that you have for potential fish fry patrons? Like if folks have never been, or maybe they've just been a little nervous to get outside their neighborhood, what would you suggest to someone not only looking for a spot, but once they walk in, how can you be a good fish fry customer?
Oh, man. I would say the number one thing is to remember that everybody here is, in general, volunteering. So at churches, benevolent organizations like the Elks and Moose Clubs and things, and at fire departments, these are fundraisers for community organizations. And have a good time. You know, maybe someday you won't get a great fish sandwich. Maybe the fries will be soggy, but have a conversation, chat up the people in line, find out, you know, is this your home fish fry? How long have you been going here? Stuff like that. And look for those bunnies riding the Twinkies as desserts.
Holland, I hope you have a wonderful fish fry season. Thank you so much. This is really a public service.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
That's all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. Definitely check out this map, Yins. We've got the link in our show notes, and we always recommend checking social media or an organization's website just in case there are any updates throughout the Lenten season. You always want to know the latest about the menu. And if you are not the kind of person who wants to filter through every fish fry in our city, we get it. Our friends at Axios Pittsburgh have been running a little bracket to find the official fan favorite fish fry here in Pittsburgh. You can vote in the semifinals today, and they're going to crown the winner on Friday. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Talk to you soon.
I would say take a lot of $1 bills, which is always appreciated by those who have to make change at these events. I don't know, if you're someone who likes a lot of desserts, take $30